Good evening. My name is Laura Morosi, and today I would like to present a persuasive argument about global warming. The recent panic about global warming is causing problems throughout the United States. The global warming debate consists of a variety of arguments regarding the nature, causes, and consequences of worldwide global warming. The disputed issues include whether the world's warming trend is extraordinary or within normal climatic variations, whether humankind has caused it, and whether the temperature increase is an object of valid measurement. Today I'm here to inform you that global warming was an invented topic and the threat was severely exaggerated. It is becoming harder and harder for the global warming community to ignore some of the scientific data that shows the Earth is not getting warmer. In fact, it's getting cooler, which makes global warming a fictitious hoax. Global warming is a multi-billion-dollar industry that would dissipate if nobody was frightened of its suggested threats. While I'm not personally a subject matter expert on global warming, I have spent a total of 6 months researching this topic and will be referring to a multitude of credible sources, including, but not limited to, NASA, the Department of U.S. Immigration, Fred Singer, who is a professor of environmental science at the University of Virginia, and the United Nations website. The media has spent decades steamrolling anyone who tells you that global warming is a hoax. Each time a heat wave hits or a polar bear is taken, a picture of a polar bear is taken, the media is demanding environmental reform, more policy, and more money to combat climatic change. Do you know how much the Earth has really warmed due to human activity? This is an important message considering the U.S. government spends $22 billion a year to fight this so-called global warming crisis, which according to the U.S. immigration website is twice the money it spends on protecting our border. Imagine how the American economy might look if we weren't effectively flushing this money down the toilet. Imagine how taxes could drop if the government wasn't spending our money on nonsense programs. Much of the recent severe weather has been directly attributed to natural cycles. Human-made temperature fluctuations in recent years cannot be validated through proxy studies done on trees and ice rings because they show no human influence on the atmospheric temperatures. Today I would like to discuss when the warming occurred and why it proves that the associated problems are not man-made, the amount of warming and timing, and the statistical inaccuracies associated with the origin of global warming. First, I would like to discuss the timing of the warming and how warming trends have found and have been proven to be natural climatic variations and not man-made. Studies from the UN have shown within the past 50 years, atmospheric carbon dioxide levels have elevated. Despite the carbon dioxide levels rising, measurements have shown that major atmospheric greenhouse warming of the atmosphere is unlikely to ever occur. As I mentioned before, temperature data taken from proxies of tree rings, ice cores, and ocean sediment done by Fred Singer, the professor of environmental science at the University of Virginia, who is also a director of the U.S. Weather Satellite Service, show a timed warming of the world's climate that has little or nothing to do with human activity. The data showed a pre-1940 warming trend of the world that had little to do with anything human beforehand. Now that we have established global warming is not associated with human activity, I would like to discuss the question of how much the globe has actually warmed. When members of the global warming community have created worldwide panic about global warming, many of us do not stop to ask the crucial question of how much did it actually warm. According to NASA's recent data, the world has warmed 0.36 degrees Fahrenheit over the last 35 years. Yes, that's right, 0.36 degrees. Further weakening the global warming argument is data showing that the North Polar ice cap is increasing in size. Recent satellite images from NASA reflect an increase of 43% to 63%. As you can see here, the increase is shown from the NASA satellite pictures. After discussing the increases in temperature not being man-made and the minuscule amount of warming that has occurred, I would like to discuss the data inaccuracies associated with the introduction of global warming. In 2007, when accepting his Nobel Prize for global warming, Al Gore made this striking prediction that the North Polar ice cap would be falling off a cliff and could completely be gone in the summer of 7 years, in 2007. He was clearly incorrect, and leaked emails from global warming scientists state that the Earth is not warming. Claude Alger, the founding father of the man-made global warming ethos, recently renounced his position that man has caused global warming, and proof is emerging that Al Gore and possibly even President Obama have financially benefited from fueling the global warming hysteria. Global warming is a multi-billion-dollar industry and would dissipate if nobody was frightened of the suggested threats. First, I discussed the warming trend found by global warming community has been proven to be from natural climatic variations and not man-made. Second, I explored how much the globe has actually warmed, a minuscule 0.36%. And finally, I explained the statistical inaccuracies associated with the origin of global warming hysteria. It's becoming harder and harder for the global warming community to ignore the scientific data that the Earth is not getting warmer. Global warming was a topic invented by people in the United States, but was certainly not caused by humankind, which has to make me wonder, why are we still spending $22 billion a year on global warming initiatives, and where is this money actually going? Thank you for listening today. If there are no further questions, that concludes this presentation.